2 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon and welcome to the University of Kansas School of Nursing's annual Nightingale Ceremony. I'm Cindy Teal, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs in the School of Nursing. Today we celebrate our new baccalaureate students and the beginning of their journey to become professional nurses. Students, your experiences over the next 2 years will be life-changing. You are starting your professional education in an unprecedented time with many things different than ever before. What remains the same, however, is our commitment to you, to prepare you as professional nurses ready to assume your roles in the world's healthcare systems. As all of you know, we're in the midst of a pandemic, which is changing every aspect of our lives. At KU, we are focused on protecting the health of our students, faculty, and staff. We are wearing masks, obviously, and keeping physically distanced from each other. For today's ceremony, Salina students are remaining on the Salina campus, while Kansas City students are in Kansas City. In addition, some students and most faculty, staff, and guests are joining remotely. In spite of these very different circumstances for this year's ceremony, we remain just as enthusiastic about this annual opportunity to celebrate our new students as they begin KU's Professional Baccalaureate Nursing Program. Today's Nightingale White Coat Ceremony reflects the planning and support of many individuals and organizations. I'd like to recognize these supporters now. First, we want to acknowledge Sigma Theta Tau International Delta Chapter for their support of today's event. Sigma Theta Tau is the world's only honor society for nursing and is committed to the professional development of nurses who strive to make a difference locally, nationally, and globally. Please join me in thanking Delta Chapter of Sigma Theta Tau. And we also want to thank the Arnold P. Gold Foundation for its support of today's program. The Gold Foundation works with healthcare professionals to instill a culture of respect, dignity, and compassionate care for patients and professionals, and provide support for nursing school white coat ceremonies like this one. Please join me in thanking the Gold Foundation. I'd also like to thank the staff from the school's offices of Academic Affairs, Student Affairs, and the Dean's Office, all of whom have spent countless hours preparing for today's white coat ceremony. Would Laura Crystal, who led this effort, and the staff who have helped with planning today's event, please stand and be recognized. Laura, staff. Thank you so much. And now I'd like to recognize members of the school's nursing leadership team and the KU Med Center leadership team, some of whom you'll be hearing from later in the program. The School of Nursing leadership team includes Dean Sally Maliski, Dean of KU School of Nursing, Dr. Lisa Larson, Salina Campus Dean, Dr. Pamela Barnes, Associate Dean, Office of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, Dr. Barb Polivka, Associate Dean, Office of Grants and Research, Dr. Nelda Godfrey, Associate Dean, Innovative Partnerships and Practice, Dr. Terry Kennedy, Associate Dean, Interprofessional Practice, Education, Policy, and Research. The KU Medical Center leadership team includes Dr. Ojo, Dean of KU School of Medicine, Dr. Bob Moser, Dean, KU School of Medicine, Salina Campus, Dr. Akinwanton, Dean, KU School of Health Professions, Dr. Klein, Vice Chancellor of Academic and Student Affairs, and Dr. Robert Samari, Executive Vice Chancellor of KU Medical Center. And finally, there would be no nursing school without nursing faculty. The faculty, as you have seen, the faculty at KU School of Nursing are innovative, creative, energetic, and they strive for the highest levels of quality in everything that they do. In short, they are remarkable. Please join me in acknowledging our School of Nursing faculty. And now it's my pleasure to invite Executive Vice Chancellor Robert Samari to offer greetings on behalf of KU Medical Center. Dr. Samari is joining us remotely. Dr. Samari?
Thanks, Dr. Teal. Thanks for inviting me to be part of today's ceremony. It's really part of my most favorite time of the year when we start welcoming students back to be members of the KU Medical Center family. The end of July, we did a white coat ceremony for medical students. The new class of health profession students are arriving this week. And today we are delighted to formally welcome all of you, our promising new classes of nursing students. Obviously, because of this pandemic, things are a little different on campus this year. Many of our activities are virtual and much of our infrastructure staff is at home. Our students, faculty, and staff on campus are required to wear masks and observe social distancing in our classroom spaces and elsewhere on campus. As I said to the medical students, the most challenging situation that students get into is should they get ill. And this year, you have a large role in preventing illness amongst you and your classmates. So we look forward to your professionalism in taking every precaution to avoid COVID. I can promise you that what hasn't changed, even though we're going through this pandemic, is that you're still going to receive the finest nursing education at an outstanding institution. And this includes state-of-the-art facilities and best-in-class faculty. We are very proud of both, and we're excited that you can join us. The KU School of Nursing is one of the top nursing schools in the nation, and we're proud again that it's been designated as a center of excellence in nursing education. So as you go along your training, you'll find yourself learning alongside medical and health profession students, as well as pharmacy, law, and social work students from KU. It's part of our emphasis, an emphasis on interprofessional education, which promotes collaboration amongst future physicians, nurses, and health professions to prepare them for their professional career. Donna Deers, who served at the Dean of School of Yale Nursing, really one of the people who's considered as a voice of the nursing profession, once said, "Nurses observe, listen, test, assess, diagnose, monitor, manage, treat, and cure. But above all, nursing is caring." So on behalf of our faculty, staff, and students, I want to welcome each of you to the KU School of Nursing and the Kansas University Medical Center and wish you all of the best as you begin your journey into the nursing profession. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Samari. And now we will invite Dean Sally Maliski to the podium to give welcoming remarks. Dr. Maliski has been the School of Nursing's Dean since 2016. In addition to her role as Dean, she is the Franklin and Beverly Gaines Tipton Professor for Oncology Nursing. Dr. Maliski is an active researcher and a fellow in the American Academy of Nursing. Dean Maliski.
Thank you very much, Dr. Teal. So, Dean Larson, Dean Moser, Dr. McKay, Dr. Nelson Brantley, esteemed faculty, both here and remotely, and family and friends who are joining us by live stream. We welcome you. And now, new School of Nursing students, it is my pleasure to welcome you to one of the most exciting and rewarding times of your life. While perhaps you had originally envisioned this as a little bit different, it still is a time of tremendous opportunity. You have chosen to enter the profession of nursing. This is a profession that will open up limitless possibilities to you to grow and to make a difference in the lives of individuals, of families, of communities, and beyond. In a time of transition and chaos, such as we find ourselves now, there's a chance to make a difference in reshaping the next normal that is boundless, that we don't find in other times. So you, in getting your education during this time and entering a system, a healthcare system that is changing, that is evolving, you are going to have opportunities beyond imagination to reshape and to lead what this next phase of health in America and globally is going to look like. And so, you have chosen to come to the KU School of Nursing to start this exciting new journey. And we have chosen you. We believe in you. We believe in your ability to succeed and to lead. Today's ceremony, as you don your white coat, marks your commitment to the profession of nursing and to your commitment to be professionals in all components of your life. It is a commitment to be taken seriously. You will be joining the most trusted profession in the country and the largest segment of the healthcare workforce. There will be much information. You've got a packed 2 years ahead of you. There will be so much information to learn that you're going to feel like your heads are just going to explode at times. But that's okay, your brains will stay inside. And while this information is important, even more important is that you learn to think with this information, with the concepts and the principles that you are going to be learning. These are your tools to work with as professional nurses. You are going to be growing in your ability to think critically, to grow in your clinical judgment, and to learn differently, to problem solve. And to do that problem solving with a team of healthcare professionals. You will learn with and from students from the School of Health Professions, the School of Medicine, the School of Pharmacy, School of Social Welfare, and others. They will be your colleagues. You will gain the ability to be both a contributing team member and a team leader. Part of your education is going to be gaining skills in leadership and in membership. There will be a variety of interdisciplinary activities, some of which will be virtual, that will give you the opportunity to learn with and get to know your colleagues from the other professions. Learning and playing together makes it much easier to work together as a team. Let me give a caveat here that the playing together means playing together safely, not in big groups without masks. Okay, but doing that virtually. Both the health education building that we're sitting in and the health education center in Salina have been designed to facilitate that learning together with and from each other. There's so much to look forward to. And each situation that you encounter is going to be different. But those concepts, those principles that you learn over these next 2 years are going to apply across multiple situations, multiple evolving situations. And that's why those concepts are important, because you'll pull on those concepts, arrange and rearrange them in different ways to meet the needs of the various situations. Through practice applying relevant concepts, using critical thinking, clinical judgment, and leadership, you will implement the best evidence-based practices in nursing care for individuals, for families, for communities, populations, and systems. And right now, you have the opportunity to learn and put into practice critical public health measures that are incumbent upon us as healthcare professionals to guard the health of the public. Even so, even with all of this, you will still not experience every situation that you will encounter during your professional careers. It's impossible. However, your faculty will offer you the tools that you need to work through those situations and the opportunity to learn how to think with those tools. And it will be up to you to take advantage of all that your faculty offers and to never stop learning and thinking and growing. Know that your faculty are committed to your success while holding high standards. Be curious, pick their brains. There's a lot there to discover. They are experienced educators, clinicians, researchers, who not only provide excellent direct care in traditional settings, but provide primary care to underserved and rural populations, who administer healthcare organizations, manage clinical trials, work in public health regionally and globally, work in health informatics, and conduct research, from exploring the mechanisms of traumatic brain injury in the laboratory, to analyzing large data sets, to conducting randomized clinical trials, and to leading randomized clinical trials of nurse-led interventions. Take advantage of having this expertise available to you and explore the many pathways that are open to you in the profession of nursing. So now you'll have some fun along the way, as you should, as you grow towards your profession. You will need to take time to stay balanced. You'll make wonderful friends here. You're all in this together. But remember, this is not a competition. You are here. Be good to each other and take care of each other. You will need that at some point, especially during these times. You know, and although I know time is always in short supply when you're a student, I'm sorry about that. Think about doing some volunteer work, perhaps in a way that lets you get to know others from varying backgrounds and stretch yourself a bit and explore. And I'm going to give you something else to think about. You know, you may think you never want to see, I'm sorry, excuse me. You may never want to step in a classroom again. But think about, consider going on with your formal education, specializing with a master's degree, becoming an advanced practice nurse with a DNP, or becoming a nurse administrator, or becoming a nurse researcher with a PhD. Finally, enjoy this time. It is truly precious. We are all here to support you and guide you as you work towards your goal of becoming a KU nurse. Thank you, and rock chalk.
Oh, thank you, Dean Maliski. The KU Nurses Alumni Association promotes the advancement of student and alumni nurses in both academic and professional endeavors. The association also provides generous support for the school's Nightingale Ceremony. We'd like to say a special thanks for the outstanding assistance provided by the association's Alumni Relations Manager, Ms. Christy Gagne. Thank you, Christy, for all that you do. We really appreciate that. And now it's my pleasure to invite the president of the KU Nurses Alumni Association, Dr. Chris Mackey, to offer greetings on behalf of the Nurses Alumni Association. Dr. Mackey is joining us remotely. Dr. Mackey? Well, I think she'll be joining soon.
She's on mute.
Hi, Geraldine. There you are. Hi, Dr. Mackey. How are you? I can't hear you. Are you on mute?
Her mute is off now, Cindy. But we still
Okay.
can't hear her.
Gosh, we can read what you're saying, but I can't hear you still. We will be, I'm sure she's working hard on trying to find the button or the reconnection to make that work, because we're really excited about having her join. Wait just another couple minutes to see if she can connect. We know Dr. McGee is there, and she will be our keynote speaker. So we might need to come back to Dr. Mackey. Dr. McGee, would you be okay with going now?
Absolutely.
Well, Dr. Mackey is working out the connection.
Yes. That's
Okay, well, I will introduce you as our keynote speaker, Dr. Geraldine McGee. Dr. McGee is a member of the School of Nursing faculty, and she also serves as the Medical Center's Vice Chancellor for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. We're just delighted to invite Dr. McGee to the virtual podium. Dr. McGee.
okay. Thank you, Cindy. I am going to start sharing my screen now. Okay. Cindy, can you tell me what you see on the screen?
Yes, I see a welcome on the right and the first title slide on the left.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can switch that around to where you're only seeing this. Are you only seeing this now?
Yes, the
Presentation?
title slide. We're good.
Okay. No welcome on the right, right?
That's correct.
Okay. All righty. Do you want me to go ahead and go, or did you want to check with Christine?
Well, why don't you go ahead and then
Okay.
we'll check back with Chris.
Okay, all righty. Well, thank you, Cindy, for inviting me to give the keynote address today. It is such a pleasure to be here. When Laura sent me the email asking me if I wanted to do it in person or virtually, but she told me if I did it in person that I would need to wear a mask. And I thought about standing there giving the keynote in a mask and passing out in front of everyone. And I did not want this to be you all's first nursing experience with me passed out on the floor. So I decided to do it from my office. So thank you again for having me. And I do want to give a welcome. I want to welcome the class of 2022. It is truly an honor to be here with you today. And before we get started, I want to offer a few more welcomes. I know you've been welcomed a few times this morning, but I would be remiss if I didn't welcome our learners, their parents, spouses, children, family, and friends, but also welcome to our Executive Vice Chancellor, Dr. Samari, our deans, our associate deans, and also the finest faculty on this side of state line, our KU School of Nursing faculty and our KU School of Nursing staff. I want to make sure that I welcome everyone. I am going to take a moment to talk to the class of 2022. I want to take a few moments to talk about the journey that you've decided to embark upon in your role as a baccalaureate prepared nurse. But before we get into all the formalities, can we take just a moment to acknowledge how awful 2020 has been thus far? I mean, when you think about it, it has not been the kindest year. And for those of you who have decided to make lemonade out of lemons, or choosing to play the hand you were dealt and seeing the things through a more positive lens, we applaud you. We really do. And I'm not being sarcastic as I say that, because we truly do give you a standing ovation. But excuse those of us who really just need to have a moment to say, this has been a crappy year thus far. I mean, really, when you think about it, we started out 2020 with the wildfires in Australia, where at least 34 lives were lost. And who can forget the images of the koalas and the kangaroos? And then Prince Harry and Meghan decide to leave the royal family. It's like, really, who leaves the royal family? But no judgment there, because obviously they had their reasons. And then people lost their lives in a helicopter crash in California. 2 of the lives lost was Kobe Bryant and his daughter, Gianna. Shortly after that, we discovered that the coronavirus has made its way to the United States, all while dealing with an impeachment trial, the stock market crashing, and then, my goodness, we find out that right in the middle of COVID, we learned that murder hornets are on their way to the US. And at this point, we're all like, really, can this year get any worse? Well, actually it did. It did. And then comes the tragic deaths of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Army soldier Vanessa Gillian, police officer Mike Moser here in our city, 4-year-old legend Taliaferro here in our city, and most recently, 5-year-old Cannon Hinnant, and countless others who have lost their lives, leading to civil unrest in our country and around the world. So I've given you a brief rundown of what we, meaning all of us here in America, have experienced thus far this year. And actually, I haven't even touched what we've each had to deal with in our personal and our professional lives this year. Because when you think about it, in addition to all the events that I've talked about, we each have our own personal stuff that we've had to deal with. So indulge me for a moment and take a minute to reflect. Take a personal inventory of everything you've had to deal with this year, whether if it was you personally or a family member. Now, considering all that we've been through, because we've all been through a lot, there is a silver lining, and that silver lining is that we are all still here. Now, that doesn't mean at all that we don't have scars or wounds or bruises, bruised egos, hurt feelings, lost friendships, or that we haven't lost a loved one. Because if we took account of those in the room who have lost someone to, let's say, COVID-19 specifically, I'm sure we would see a few hands raised. So while you're reflecting on 2020 and where you are today, consider your ability to be resilient. And as you're considering your resiliency, class of 2022, think about where you go from here. Think about where we go from here as a collective. What is our path forward? How do we chart a new, bold direction? Well, for each of you,
microphone.
Could someone put their mic on mute, please? For each of you, you have begun the process of charting a new, bold direction. You made a conscious decision to become a part of the largest healthcare workforce of nursing. Not only is it the largest, but the profession of nursing has been identified as the most caring and the most trusted workforce. As a nurse, you will be a part of frontline workers, the heroes and heroines of our nation who play a critical role in delivering essential healthcare to those in need. So I'm sure after observing our nation and the healthcare workers while they're experiencing COVID-19, you may be a little concerned or apprehensive or wondering how you will acclimate to your new role, forming your professional identity as a nurse and as a leader. Today, you take the first step in the process by participating in the Nightingale Ceremony and joining a professionally focused academic society that will provide leadership experiences and help you perform your professional identity. You will also be afforded the opportunity to join student and professional organizations such as the University of Kansas Student Nurses Association, the Association for Undergraduate Students in Nursing, the KUMC Student Governing and Student Diversity Councils, and other professional organizations. You will also be given the opportunity to experience your role as a nurse during intra and interprofessional simulation experiences with teams of nursing students, medical students, pharmacy students, clinical laboratory science students, and more. You will form your leadership role by witnessing the leadership behaviors of your faculty. You will also form your leadership role through peer interaction and group work. Most of all, you will form your leadership role through real-time, hands-on experiences in clinical community settings with experienced nurses. So what does it mean to be a baccalaureate prepared nurse? Well, first, it means that you have significant influence. It means that you have knowledge, skills, and attitudes to provide direct and indirect care, coordinate care across the continuum, think critically, implement evidence-based practice, be a lifelong learner, collaborate on interprofessional teams, lead interprofessional teams, exercise emotional intelligence, make recommendations, adapt to circumstances, be inquisitive, demonstrate respect, acknowledge and respond appropriately to cultural differences, promote a diverse and inclusive work environment, educate patients, families, communities, and health promotion and disease prevention, and become active in advocacy, policy development for you, your patients, for society, and for the nursing profession. Because of its prominent role in healthcare, the nursing profession has a tangible opportunity to directly influence the lives of patients, families, and communities. Being a professional in the nursing profession, I certainly hope you can see your role as a leader on the front line, making an impact. So my goal here today is to inspire you to embrace the nursing role, to do well in the program over the next 2 years and beyond. And to be honest, nursing school is challenging, as it should be. So it is going to take a bit more than just being inspired. Your path forward will require you to pair inspiration with discipline. Now, avoid thinking of discipline as a punishment, but more so as a way of life, a way of doing things for the next 2 years and beyond. While you're in nursing school, discipline looks like being in clinical, using good time management, showing up for class physically, virtually, and mindfully. Mindfully meaning being fully present and attentive in class. Be disciplined in how you balance your life. Some of the most successful individuals attribute their success to discipline. And be disciplined in how you actively prepare for your role as a baccalaureate prepared nurse who will exhibit leadership characteristics in the daily activities of providing exceptional, quality, safe, person-centered care. As you progress over the next couple of years and begin your transition into the nursing workforce, I want you to keep a few things in mind to help you be successful. Number one, find your spark or what ignites you. Find that things that get you excited. Number two, dream big and remember that you are only limited by your imagination. And in dreaming big, take risks. This does not mean engage in risque behaviors, but it does mean to step out of your comfort zone, challenge yourself, trying something new and bold, and get comfortable with being uncomfortable. This is how you evolve. this is how you get better. Number 3, I also want to encourage you to prepare, plan, and put actions to your words. Number 4, always remember that you are accountable for your success. So it is your responsibility to succeed, not your instructors, not your parents, not your significant other. It is yours, so own it. Number 5, again, be mindful. Be mindful, thoughtful, and intentional in everything that you do. Avoid just existing in the world. Make each moment count. Be kind, be good to others, and be good to yourself. Because thoughtless actions and unkindness are not characteristics that you want representing you. Number 7, align your core values. Number 8, be able to receive constructive feedback. And number 9, whatever you gain, make sure that you pay it forward through community service, by mentoring someone, or by using your voice to raise awareness. Number 10, develop self-efficacy and growth mindset. Self-efficacy means that you believe you can achieve anything. A growth mindset is the belief that your ability to learn is not fixed and you can persevere after failure or a setback. And finally, number 11, when imposter syndrome sets in, or when it rears its ugly head, get rid of it. You belong here. You belong in nursing. Before I close, I'd like to share some last thoughts with you. Nurses are professionals who are greatly respected by others in the community. We are specifically taught how to help others cope with trauma and stress, regardless of the situation. In times of political and civil unrest, nurses have a responsibility to help provide calm, safe environments, positive communication, and healing. Each one of us can and should try to make a difference for others every day, no matter where we are or where we practice nursing. Learning about this critical role in our society is part of what your nursing education is all about. I encourage you to find your voice and use your platform to create change, to help dismantle structural racism that fosters voter suppression, wage and wealth gaps, unemployment, housing discrimination, governance surveillance, incarceration, drug arrests, immigration arrests, infant and maternal mortality, denial rates for loan applications, and the list actually goes on and on. We certainly can't keep doing the things the same way we have in the United States. Our path forward must be a new and bold direction. Our path forward starts with you, right where you are, taking a stand against all inequalities and all inequities. Your stand will look different from my stand. Your stand will look different from your parents' stand and from your peers. You get to choose how you stand. You get to choose your platform. You get to choose your time. Whatever your method, I encourage you to do something so that all people have an opportunity to live and to thrive. The only way we can ensure equal opportunity for all is if we do it together in unity and not allow those in power to divide us according to race, class, political or religious beliefs, gender, or sexual orientation. Don't allow us as a human race to be divided. We must stand together against hate and against inequality. If you don't remember anything else I have said today, or I've said in this moment, please remember this. The power of the people will always be more powerful than the people in power. I have always been impressed and inspired by generations Y and Z because many of you make intentional efforts to stand on the right side of history, fighting for equality and climate change. So continue to use your power, use your privilege, use your platform, and use your passion. Thank you.
Dr. Geraldine McGee, thank you so much. You are always very inspiring, and I just love to hear your message, and especially today for our incoming students. Thank you so much. Dr. Mackey, we want to see if we can connect with you again.
Can you hear me this time?
Yes, we can.
Great, thank you.
Hi.
Hi, good afternoon, and what a perfect example of being resilient and flexible, and another common occurrence in this pandemic era. So thank you again for having us. You know, listening to the other panelists, I'm reminded of how lucky I am to be a proud, caring Jayhawk nurse. My name's Chris Mackey. I'm the president of the KU Nurses Alumni Association, which is made up of KU educated nurses from bachelor through doctorate prepared nurses. And we serve in an amazing variety of career and nursing venues, if you will. We have folks who are in hospital administration, healthcare administration, working the floors, clinical research, and consulting. I think you will soon find through your education and follow up afterwards that being a KU nurse will really open the doors to many opportunities. On behalf of the board, I'd like to welcome you to the profession and offer to please keep an open mind to the different opportunities that may come your way. The role that I'm in now, I had no idea about it once I graduated a couple some years ago, but it's a role that I've embraced and I've really enjoyed. To support you, today we provided a few goodies in your swag bag, and throughout your time on campus, we're here to support you by funding different student organization activities and partnering with the School of Nursing as well as Student Life to support on-campus activities. We'll sponsor graduation awards as well. As Dr. McGee mentioned, you'll soon be receiving an email about joining the Nurses Student Association, and we hope you consider doing so. We are glad you are here, and we wish you all the best as you start your training to become a Jayhawk nurse. Thank you again and appreciate your patience. Good luck.
Thank you, Dr. Mackey. It's now time to recognize our new students as they begin preparing for careers as professional nurses. Each student receives a white coat that symbolizes the study of professional nursing and serves as a visual reminder of the caring, competence, and service that are essential to professional nursing. Each student also receives a humanism pin provided by the Arnold P. Gold Foundation. The pin serves as a visual reminder of today's oath and commitment to always provide high-quality nursing care. Students are assigned to an academic society that helps in establishing professional relationships with other nurses, while also helping students engage in outreach across the Kansas City and Salina communities. Today, the Academic Society faculty advisors will direct the students to the microphone, where each student will say their name and their hometown. We will invite students forward by Academic Society, starting first with the Frailkey Laptad Society, followed by the Hench Hill Society, and then the Thierry Society in Salina. And now it's time to don the white coats. Students, will you all please stand and put on your white coats? What a beautiful moment. Students, you may now be seated while the faculty advisors for the Frailkey Laptad Academic Society prepare to assist you in coming forward. The Frailkey Laptad Society is led by faculty advisors Dr. Kisa Herlihy, Professor Kathy Gilkey, and Professor Christy LeCure. Frilke Laptad Society students, please prepare to come forward to the microphone and say your first and last name, followed by your hometown. You may then return to your seat and be seated. And I see the faculty advisors and the staff are already in position and helping people find their way. So we will start with the first student. If you'll come to the microphone and say your name and hometown.
Annie Lynch, Mission Hills, Kansas.
And then you can go right down the middle.
Mackenzie Pides, Garden City, Kansas.
And if you'll speak up.
Janelle Alfaro, Overland Park, Kansas. Summer Heinen, Baser, Kansas. Andrea Della O, Olathe, Kansas. Maddie Siebel, Overland Park, Kansas.
Vicky Jumaze, Ghana, Kansas.
Brooke Schaefer, Gardner, Kansas. Caroline Mack, Overland Park, Kansas. Xenia Amrolia, Overland Park, Kansas. Sophia Perkin, Overland Park, Kansas. Mallory Hine, Overland Park, Kansas.
T. Pennington, Kansas City, Kansas.
Jenny Zhang, Overland Park, Kansas.
Hannah Becker, Lewisburg, Kansas.
Sabrina Uriarte, Shawnee, Kansas.
Teresa Enlow, Forrestal, Missouri.
Jacqueline Matthews, St. Louis, Missouri. Madison Van Beulah, Shawnee, Kansas.
Daisy Panetto, Edgerton, Kansas.
Anna Esker, St. Louis, Missouri.
Alex Mays, St. Louis, Missouri.
Lauren Becker, Lewisburg, Kansas.
Abby Idu, Overland Park, Kansas. Kayla Kasai, Overland Park, Kansas. Aaron Stutterheim, Hutchinson, Kansas.
Ryan Flory, Topeka, Kansas.
Alexa McCurdy, Williamsburg, Kansas. Tristan Rand, Barrington, Kansas.
Abby Swoboda, Kansas City.
Matthew Frayer, Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Sage Metch, Carlsbad, California.
Kate Burdett, Lenexa, Kansas.
Catherine Kempen, Leawood, Kansas.
Rose Ristrom, Overland Park, Kansas.
Megan Funk, Atchison, Kansas. Caitlin Newton, Altoona, Kansas. Olivia Wagner, Wichita, Kansas. Kelsey Kanoki, Harrisonville, Missouri.
Austin Rubin, Overland Park, Kansas.
Jaden Chase, Lenexa, Kansas. Raylan Wortman, Ulysses, Kansas. Andrea Gamble, Overland Park, Kansas. Jessica Nguyen, Kansas City, Missouri. Caroline Chelule, Leavenworth, Kansas.
Jolie Ruhorenberry, Overland Park, Kansas.
Emily Croats, Overland Park, Kansas. Alicia Lopez, Shawnee, Kansas.
Sean Salter, Bitburg, Germany.
Savannah Richmond, Olathe, Kansas. Avery Wilson, Garnett, Kansas.
Owen Olson, Overland Park, Kansas.
Brianna Hannon, Spring Hill, Kansas.
Please join me in thanking Dr. Herlihy, Professor Gilkey, and Professor LeCure for guiding the Frailkey Laptad Society. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the Hinch Hill Academic Society faculty advisors, Professor Allison Lukenbach, Professor Dina Wilhoit, and Professor Kim Cornwell. Hinch Hill Society students, please prepare to come forward to the microphone and say your first and last names, followed by your hometown. You may then return to your seat and be seated. Will the faculty advisors and School of Nursing staff please move to your respective positions to help with the student introductions? You may be first.
Rhiannon House, Green Valley, Missouri. Cameron Perry, El Dorado, Kansas.
Maggie Sieben, Bucyrus, Kansas.
Josie Beaver, Wichita, Kansas.
Rachel Marquardt, Kansas City, Missouri.
Allie Masca, Springfield, Missouri.
Mary Huss, St. Louis, Missouri.
Frankie Skinner, Overland Park, Kansas. Anna Anstein, Overland Park, Kansas. Gabrielle Duffins, Topeka, Kansas.
Aiden Jackson, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Amariah Mazurek, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Lucia Vang, Kansas City, Kansas.
Katarina Kamar, Leawood, Kansas. Maggie Duffy, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Paige Bogle, Wichita, Kansas. Fiona McAllister, Lawrence, Kansas.
Megan Vysadecki, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ben Firekowski, Roland Park, Kansas.
Alana Fisher, Olathe, Kansas.
Tucker Taft, Horton, Kansas.
Blake Kleinswergy, Gardner, Kansas.
Steve Jean, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Danielle Rayto, Overland Park, Kansas.
Jordan Vlock, Bonner Springs, Kansas. Sierra Funk, McLeod, Kansas.
Hallie Butler, Olathe, Kansas.
Macy Fulton, Lenexa, Kansas.
Connor Meyer, Florissant, Missouri.
Sarah Roberts, Marysville, Kansas.
Kelsey Collins, Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Caitlin Campbell, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida.
Erin Klotz, Eudora, Kansas.
Hannah Taylor, Olpe, Kansas. Paige Robinson, Easton, Kansas.
Sophia Rule, Overland Park, Kansas.
Margarita Watson, Overland Park, Kansas.
Jaylene Garcia, Garden City, Kansas. Hope Lancaster, Overland Park, Kansas.
Gwen Sonic, Kansas. Mandy Grostadier, Overland Park, Kansas.
Tren Wen, Olathe, Kansas. Fatima Saeed, Overland Park, Kansas.
Elena Watts, Lenexa, Kansas.
Beth Liu, Fairway, Kansas. Heather Wynn, Shawnee, Kansas.
Aaron Ortiz, Olathe, Kansas.
Jacqueline Lucido, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ellie Dallett, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Elise Kaus, Leawood, Kansas.
Megan Wisby, Lawrence, Kansas.
Sailor Lundstrom, Ankeny, Iowa.
Mo Hartnett, Overland Park, Kansas.
My name is Mackie Santee. I'm from Mission, Kansas.
Alex Hansen, Broomfield, Colorado.
Isabella Darris, Prairie Village, Kansas.
Sydney Parker, Shawnee, Kansas.
Would you please join me in thanking Professors Allison Lukenbach, Dina Wilhoit, and Kim Cornwell for guiding the Hinch Hill Society. The Thierry Academic Society is located on the Salina campus. It's my pleasure to introduce the Thierry Society Faculty Advisor, Professor Dina Woodall, with support from the Salina Campus Dean, Dr. Lisa Larson. We will transition to the Salina campus now for the Thierry Society student introductions. Dr. Larson?
Thank you, Dr. Teal. Students, please prepare to come forward to the microphone and say your first and last name and hometown. You may then return to your seats and be seated. Will the Society Faculty Advisor, Dina Woodall, please come to your position and help the students with their introduction.
Amanda Coatney, Lawrence, Kansas.
Olivia Winter, Olathe, Kansas.
Dane Cole Glazier, Smith Center, Kansas.
Emma Pierce.
Taylor Wise, Salina, Kansas.
Dawson Counts, Salina, Kansas.
Annie Rodriguez, Salina, Kansas.
Ashley Ammon, Lawrence, Kansas.
Caitlin Elliott, Olathe, Kansas.
Julian Tran, Salina, Kansas.
Ava Mikesell, Wichita, Kansas. Kendra Hafner, Greenfield, Kansas. Grace Fletcher, Alpharetta, Georgia.
Blake Harris, Holton, Kansas.
Julia Treader, Overland Park, Kansas.
Carolyn Osborne, Shawnee, Kansas.
Ashton Risser, Wichita, Kansas. Anna Vo, Wichita, Kansas.
Drayton Post, Beloit, Kansas.
Malia Price, Holton, Kansas.
Madeline Wardenberg, Williamsburg, Iowa.
Carol Walters, Heston, Kansas.
Join me in thanking Professor Woodall. Now transition back to Kansas City.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Larson. Although most students were able to join us today in person, there are 4 students who are joining remotely, doing their part to keep their communities safe. Maddie Perry from San Diego, California. Graylin Scharf from Littleton, Colorado. Malia Bridges from Owasso, Oklahoma. And Melanie Murray from Olathe, Kansas. Students, we thank you all for your efforts in staying safe. The students have donned their coats and introduced themselves, and the next step is to recite the professional oath of commitment, which will be led by Dr. Heather Nelson Brantley. Heather is an alumna from KU's baccalaureate and PhD programs. She's long been interested in helping students understand what it means to be a professional nurse. Heather adapted Florence Nightingale's original oath to an updated version, a KU Oath of Commitment. The oath is printed in today's program and will be displayed on the screen. Dr. Nelson Brantley, will you please come forward to lead our new students in their oath of commitment to the profession?
Will all students please stand and recite the oath of commitment with me? Please repeat after me. As I begin my education as a nurse professional, at the University of Kansas School of Nursing, I pledge the following. I will value the wisdom and skills of my nursing professors, appreciate their guidance, and continuously strive for an environment of mutual respect that fosters the highest level of professional learning. I will accept responsibility for all duties I perform, recognize when I am not prepared, and commit to seeking the skills and knowledge of others to prepare me in ensuring optimal outcomes for those who entrust their care in me. I will preserve privacy, dignity, and humanity of all those in my care. I will remember always that my responsibilities include the people I care for, their families, and the communities in which their lives are lived. With respect for the achievements of nurses whose journeys I follow, I will add to their legacy and pledge to impart my knowledge to those who follow after. I dedicate myself to the endeavor of lifelong learning and reflection, that I might improve my knowledge, my skills, my identity, and my profession every day of my practice from this day forward. Students, you may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson Brantley. I just have a few final remarks before we conclude. Students, please enjoy the gift bags located at your tables. The bags contain items provided by the School of Nursing and also the KU Nurses Alumni Association. Following the ceremony, photo services will be available outside of the rooms in both Kansas City and Salina to take pictures of small groups. Please remember to maintain social distancing and masking while you're having photos taken. Students will recess from the rooms by academic society led by their faculty advisors and staff. Faculty, guests, friends, and family members who've joined in person and via Zoom, we so appreciate your participation in today's special event. And students, we will see you in class on Monday morning. This concludes the 2020 Nightingale White Coat Ceremony. Good afternoon to you all.